And in this segment, I would like to present some data about the chance of foreign airways to exploitate Indonesia's domestic route. The first data will be about 3 foreign airways that the name mostly appeared on the future plan. The first airways that we're going to see is the Scoot. This is the name of the airways that, predicted to enter Indonesia's domestic route, based in Singapore. This is the subsidiary company of Singapore Airlines, servicing low-cost carrier segment, operating medium and far-distant flights from Singapore, Australia, and China. Operating 24 units Airbus 320s and 16 Boeing 787 Dreamliners, and achieved the Best Low-Cost Airline for 2015 Asia Pacific's Award. And the next airways is Jetstar, based in Melbourne, Australia, subsidiary company of Qantas Airways, servicing low-cost carrier segment, servicing Australia, Asia, and international flight routes, operating 64 aircraft units, 74 Airbus A320, 200 units, 6 Airbus A321, 200 units, and 11 Airbus A330, 200 units. And award achieved by Jetstar is Skytrax, by low-cost airline Australia Pacific, 2007, 2009, and 2011, and Skytrax Best Low-Cost Airline Worldwide 2017. Next will be AirAsia, based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, the largest private airways in Malaysia, route network in Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, Japan, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, and Vietnam, and China, and Hong Kong, and predicted to be the biggest airways in Southeast Asia. The plan in giving permission to foreign airways to serve Indonesia's domestic route approved by entrepreneurs in Indonesia. Such policy expected to be a trigger, so the existing airways companies such as Garuda Indonesia and Lion Air will decrease the price of airplane ticket price. About the effect of the higher price of airplane tickets to the tourism sector, Hariyadi Sukamdani said that he have the opinion towards this. We're going to see his opinion towards the future plan. Hariyadi Sukamdani, the chairman of Indonesian Entrepreneurs Association, or APindo, he said that the high ticket price give negative impact to tourism and hospitality sector. Hotels' occupancy rate decreases between 10 to 30% due to airplane ticket problems. And the effect of the high ticket price was felt mostly by tourism and hospitality players in the east part of Indonesia, such as South Sulawesi, Central Sulawesi, Southeast Sulawesi, Maluku, Kalimantan to Jayapura. The effect also occurred in the dynamic of national economic development. Meantime, the Commission of Business Competition Supervision, or KPPU, is right now investigating on the ticket price cartel practices. As it is known, there is a specific pattern when it comes to the dynamics of airplane ticket price. The same situation also seen by the Indonesia Consumer Institution, or we call it YLKI, as it is can be seen from the next slide. This is the statement from Tulus Abadi, the Indonesia Consumer Institution, or YLKI. He said that the high price of domestic route tickets are the result of national flight industry conspiracy that might be categorized as de facto oligopoly. Oligopolistic indication can be seen from the numbers of business actors in airways business in Indonesia. With acquisition of Sriwijaya Air by Garuda Indonesia, practically domestic airways players will be occupied by two groups, which is Garuda and Lion Air. Researchers of the Institute for Development of Economic and Finance, or INDEF, Nailul Huda, said that the flight industry market structure is already oligopoly, with the level of Garuda and Lion Air market share reaching 96%. The rest is other airways. Oligopoly practices indication can be seen from the specific pattern of price movement of airplane tickets. And the next data will be about requirements that need to be fulfilled by the foreign airways if they're planning to occupying Indonesia's domestic route. The first requirement will be about sufficient capital before operating in Indonesia. And then the second one is establishing business agency in Indonesia, meeting technical requirements such as from the safety aspects, and the sharing of the majority should be an Indonesian party or minimum 51%. In the law of the Republic of Indonesia number 1 of 2009 and the 1994 Chicago International Convention, there was a cabotage principle. Domestic routes should be occupied by local airways. It is considering states' air sovereignty, and the next data will be about considerations before inviting foreign airways servicing domestic routes in Indonesia. What are actually the consideration before letting them in to Indonesia's domestic routes? The first consideration is domestic routes can only be exclusively served by domestic airlines. This is remembering the cabotage principle. International law actually banning the operation of foreign airways servicing domestic routes, except local airways cannot service the routes. And then the third consideration is allowing foreign airlines to serve domestic routes is not good solution towards the high price of airplane ticket. And there is universally a ban on foreign airline servicing domestic routes of a country. Exceptions can occur if there is no ability from the local airline to service these routes, as it is not appropriate if the problem of rising ticket price is resolved by allowing foreign airlines to serve domestic routes. In the long run, operations by foreign airlines can make local airlines slowly die. And hopefully, government will have clearer considerations towards the decision in the future. And stay tuned on Market Headlines because we'll be right back after the break.